First one, investments and loans. So here we have retirement. So we're putting away $50 every week at 4.1 compounded quarterly. How much will the investment be worth? That's basically like what's the future value. Okay. And there we go. Start from the bottom, quarterly. Because you're making regular deposits every week, it's PY is 52. Future value to be determined. This is negative 50. We're not really putting in a starting amount. So that's 0. This is 4.1. And N is 15 times whatever PY is, and that gives you 780. Okay? So I'm just going to quickly put this into my calculator. 52 and 4. Make sure you get those right. So we're going to go alpha enter. So that's 53,000. Right? 53,766 and 74 cents. This answers the question, so you may just circle it. As long as you show me the work, you're fine. Okay? So that's how much the investment is going to be worth after 15 years. In this time, how much has he deposited or contributed? Okay, this is it's asking for the principal. This is an investment. This is like, what is the principal? It's the same question. So you might want to make a note that that's what I'm asking here. So you can simply say 780 payments of $50. That is what Adam has put in, and that is $39,000. Okay. Next, how much interest was earned in the first 5 years? So this, I got several questions on this because it's a 15-year investment. What about 5 years? So what's up with that? You must most definitely use this one. So you want to find interest, and remember, interest, the second entry is years times PY. So it can take any number of years as long as you multiply it by PY. So that is really sum of interest from the very first, and then you just go 5 times PY. That is 260. So you're interested in how much interest will be accumulated, will you have earned after 260 deposits. If you do that, you get 1,414 and 98 cents. And I will go back up here one more time here. Go back to A. If you made one mistake, so if I see one of these numbers entered incorrectly, you go -1 right away. You only get 1 out of 2, okay? If after that, this one you should still get right, so this one is either right or wrong. But obviously your sum of interest, this answer could be different, okay? That answer could be different, and it depends on what you got in A. So if you still show me that you're going years times PY, and that is the number that matches your work in A, you still get the mark here for the correct step, okay? How much interest was earned in the 15 years? So this is the entire, right, the entire investment. So we go sum of interest. It's 1 to 780, right? 15 times 52 is 780. So you get 14,766 and 74 cents. Or you may use the formula, right? Or the formula is like this. My bad. The formula goes in to find the interest. You go future value minus present, like everything you've put in, n times, or present value, which is 0, and this is n times PMT. Like this is basically what you've put in. And you get 14,766 and 74 cents after all. Okay? Calculate the rate of return. Rate of return is, in a sense, what you've earned, okay? Earnings over deposits times 100. Another way of thinking of it is interest earned divided by principal times 100. It's the same thing. So in this case, we know what our interest is, 14,766.74. We know what our principal is. We already figured it out, 39,000. You multiply that by 100, and you get 37.86%. Okay, if you did that right. So obviously, I would look for the number you got in D, and I would look for the number you got in B. Right? So this is in a sense D, and this is in a sense B. These are the two numbers that I would like to see here, and then times up by 100. Okay. So this page is worth 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this page is worth 6. Give yourselves a mark out of 6 on there. And let's go to the back side. Again, you would get the most out of this activity if you did this at home, right? Because right now you probably don't have enough time to copy everything down and to wrap your head around it. Another one, a personal loan for $12,000. So this is a loan now we're talking about for $12,000 to pay off other debts, and the repayment plan for the loan is as follows. So it's compounded monthly at 5.5%. You pay $275 each month until the loan is paid off. How long? To the nearest hundredth of a month will it be until she finishes paying off the loan. So there's an indication of time, right? Where is time located? It's always found in N. Okay, that's kind of like a hint right there. So compounded monthly payments are also each month. So in this case, they are the same. When it's a loan, the future value is 0. You know that this is, you know what the payment is. And we start off with $12,000. If there had been a down payment, we would subtract the down payment from it. Interest is 5.5, and N is to be solved. Okay, so we solve that. We go apps. I'm just going to fill this in real quick. I go alpha enter, and that gives me 48.797. Okay, I'm just going to write that down. 48.797, and that keeps going. Now, what does it ask me to state time in? Not in years, but it says in months, right? Is this already in months? Yes, because PY, look at PY, if this is 12, it means, right, it's telling you that it's monthly. So since PY is how we find out N, if this is monthly, then we know that this represents months as is. So approximately to the nearest hundredth of a month, so 2 decimals. So this would be 48.80 months. 48 points, because 797, the 7 bumps that to a 0, bumps that to an 8. That is months. It would be, what about payments? Approximately 49 payments. If they ever asked you for payments, you got to round it up every time. Okay, 49 payments there. It's 48 whole payments of 275 and the last payment is going to be a little less. Okay? How much will she have paid to the bank in total? Total paid is usually it's N times PMT. So we go 48 point, we can round, right? 48.80 times 275. And that's 13,420 has been repaid to the bank. And it makes sense, right? You borrow 12, you pay back more than what you've borrowed. Okay. How much interest will she have paid after 2 years? This is more than 2 years that we're talking about here. So we use this one. You have to use this one when it's not the whole term. It's just partial, right? The first 2 years. So we go 1, 2 times whatever PY is. So it's basically sum of interest from the very first month to the 24th month. Okay? 24th payment in a sense. That's what we want to know the interest for. And you get $1,032.12. That's how much interest you will have paid in the first 2 years. How much interest will she have paid by the end of the loan? End of the loan. So this is total interest. We can't use sum of interest here. N is a decimal, right? So we can't use that one in this case. So we got to use this one. Interest is N times PMT minus present value. So N times PMT we already know is 13,420 minus present value is 12,000. N times PMT, I did that already in B, right? That's why I just copy that number. And so the interest here is 1420. One disclaimer here, if you use more than 2 decimals for N, so let's say we go back here, if you used like all the decimals you got in N for in A, then this will be slightly different. I'm not going to take marks off if that's what you've done, okay? That's fine. But you may round because we found this in A and you're using your answer in A to solve for this, okay? So that's all fine. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 for this back page. 5. So 6 and 5 makes this out of 11. So write down a mark out of 11. Okay, I'm going to stop here.